Let's do it. Welcome back to the Policing Pips live stream here on Tradecaster.com and YouTube. Always live and free for now. Cheers. You can see we are opening up likely here on these overnight lows, which have just been created by this pure sell-off. I do have this account up 102. I took a trade last night. A couple quick scalps and made $100 on these two combines here, and so we're just kind of gonna maximize our best ability to try and secure a couple good trades today, maybe one or two, and then be done with it. We do have I have Top Step TV up in the background, so if anything of worth gets dropped, I will send it in here in the chat so you can have any sort of alerts if they're doing any resets. What's up, Jofi? How we doing? Cheers. Any resets, any fire drills, anything like that, I will post in here for you guys so you get the opportunity to get to it if you're missing it or whatnot, so you don't have to watch more than one thing. They did one yesterday. It was a fire drill for 100K accounts for $59. So if you want a 100K account for $59, if you didn't sign up for it, I'm not sure if the code will work for you or not, but I'll post it up when I get a chance. They did it yesterday. What's up, Leezy? How we doing? Let's see. Top Step. My fire drill is here. I don't know if they do it by my username, but if you want this code, that'll get you a 100K account for $59 right here. This is where I got that. I did that fire drill yesterday while I was driving my parents to the airport, so I sent that code out. So I sent you this code 100 here. It'll get you 5 accounts for $59 a month at 100K. So decent offer, not terrible. 100K account's pretty good for that price point. Usually like 150. Yeah, 100K account for $59. The activation fees, once you pass, they're all $150. Doesn't matter what. Yeah, on Top Step, doesn't matter what account size you pass. They just do the $150 activation fee for every account. Yeah. Doesn't matter what it is. Yep. I think that's just pretty much a setup fee, you know, data fees and whatnot. And then everything after that is yours to keep. And then they also, when you take your first payout, they refund that $49. Yeah, you might as well. If you're going to get 100K, if you're in the market for an account, that's a good code to use. Speaking of, let's see, 100K. I think you have to use it on Top Step X. So if you like other platforms, then just be mindful of that. But I'll grab one. Why not? I'll grab one since we're here. Since we're here. Not for that code, I don't think. Yeah. So I think what they're trying to do, obviously, is push everybody into this Top Step X platform because it is their platform. I think realistically, as a over Trade, this is web-based as well. So the only benefit you have is that you're used to Trade this, and it's also Trade is its own, brokerage and all that stuff. But as far as this is concerned, we got 1 minute till open. Let's see what happens, but I'll talk about that a little later. See if we can get a little flush of this yellow line here. If not, we'll watch the opening range break above. 926 is that level that I'm interested in based on my longer term charts here. You can see that right there. That chart shows us the 926 level, that dashed line that I look at for that longer term price point. So I want to see a quick flush of this overnight low. Give me some negative delta divergence, right? Pop below that low and give it to me. There we go. So we are now open. All right, so if you didn't, I sent it out just in case it would work. So you have to, usually with the fire drills, they use they send the code to the username. So you have to fill out that form. So next time I hear a fire drill come out, I'll send it to you guys. And make sure that you can fill out the form so you'll be eligible to use the code. I want to see a little bit of a pop down here. Get some of these guys to be short. Watch some of these shorts get entered in a little bit further and then run them up to the upside. Obviously, we like to run to the VWAP. Previous day high is right basically at the VWAP. and overnight highs all the way up at this level here. We went above 20,000, tried to hold it and failed it over the overnight. So we have come back down into here. Previous day low is below us here, but this overnight, I usually find that when we do open on these overnight lows, we do get a good pop. So I want to try and see if we can get below it. It would be nice. So there's a level there as well. So our opening range is right here. It's about 62 ticks, nothing crazy, $300 risk. So if we did break that opening range high, you do have that risk there. So, but I want to see it close above it. This double bottom here is nice. That's kind of what I look for in this to get some bidding. The Russell is pushing downside, and S&P is also, you can see, hovering on the lows. So the NQ is doing its own thing here. 926 held, but I do really want to see it push down one more time before I get an entry on it. If I miss it because it just runs right up, then so be it. I did like that opening range breakout there, 35. Maybe we can get a pullback to 26, see what happens at 26, and then run it up. But it seems like it's just running straight up without us, so there we go. Here I am. Russell is really selling off hard, so I would be cautious of this long still. I'm glad that I didn't really just jump straight into it. Get back into 1 minute. I'm sorry for the hiatus. Took some time off. Spent some time with family. They used my office as a bedroom, so the streaming setup wasn't really going to be ideal, and my laptop isn't the best for remote trading and streaming and everything all together. That's why I bought the PC in the first place. I could trade on it, but the streaming and everything slows everything down. We have NVIDIA kind of just opening and hovering around the close from yesterday, around 126. It is giving a slight pullback from the open right now. So NVIDIA probably will pull this down some. Apple pushing straight up. Microsoft. That's not Microsoft, is it? Yes, it is. Very choppy action pre-market. Kind of lingering in yesterday's range. Microsoft. I did mention a few of these things in my write-up. The write-up is posted in the alerts. If you're on Tradecaster, if you're in YouTube, I pinned the write-up to the top of the chat, so you can click that and get the write-up information, but kind of just talking about some of the things that I was seeing for the week, even though I didn't trade it yet. Amazon did give a little bit of a failure from the breakout that I thought, so we are currently pushing downside in Amazon. Microsoft at 449. NVIDIA at 125.65. So let's see. Yesterday's high, we're at a support level from yesterday where it broke out from at around 230 right into the close. So kind of just hovering on top of that range there. If NVIDIA starts to catch a bid, we'll see what happens with it. So there's the breakdown. So we failed to break out. I'm going to watch this 26 level. See what the delta does. Held on to it a little bit. Russell back above the opening range. S&P's middle of the opening range, and SNQ is holding that lower end at 921 with a little bit of a delta push to the downside here. I want to see what happens with this candle. If it closes in here somewhere and we can get a pop above 26, and maybe we could take the long from here, But I would like to see it get down to that overnight low. See what happens at that overnight low. If we get a failed breakdown here, then we could get that full rotation up. NVIDIA is kind of just dancing around, which kind of helps this just linger here. Do I think that the shorts, it's 77% long on the tilt. So that also tells me that we kind of want to go short a little bit right now as well. As always, fueled by Day Trading Coffee Co. If you're in the write-up, don't be afraid to venture around the website. Take a look at some of the coffee. Use my username, Policing Pips, for 15% off your coffee order and fuel your trading. All right, so we do have NVIDIA now catching a little bit of a bounce through 126 up to 126.50. This is acting the same as NVIDIA is. So just watch this. Trying to avoid this little bit of a bounce back and forth chop here. I think the S&P is holding this 55.20 level. I had this drawn up from, I don't know, back here. This is just in it. I use this as just like on a key level. The yellow and the top end is the overnight high. This is the more recent previous day low. And I just use those levels as ranges. Obviously, this white line is a pretty much overnight low level as well. You see time and sales just over here. I watched this pretty good. Looking for a larger size. I have my size fills set to 10. So if I start to see larger size orders getting filled at certain price points, I will note that and let you guys know as well. So just getting everything back into rhythm. Really waiting to see what happens around this 26 level here. The opening range is right here. So I'll give you an opening range rectangle here. This is your opening range here. And we're right inside that opening range. That purple zone was pretty reactive as support, resistance, support, resistance, right? So I will leave that purple zone overhead, even though it is still pretty much the previous day high. It's really all that matters. I want to see some manipulation, a flush, some sort of liquidity sweep below here, below that 20, and then maybe I'll look to get long through 26. If we just rock it up, I'm not really in the interest of taking that at the moment. Some people use the 15-minute as an opening range. I used the first one. It's really just kind of up to you what you want to use. It seems to hold these levels pretty good. This, I have it set here, the red and the blue line, overnight opening range high and low. It automatically populates and just kind of stays on the chart the whole day and then just resets. So you do have that that level just populated there. If you do use the 15, currently we're up here at the 51 down to the 20-ish, 919, right? So now you are breaking above it. You can see how it holds that low. Now trying to hold that high. So we are still rangy, choppy a little bit. S&P's is having a little bit of a delta divergence on the 5. Price is pushing downside, delta's pushing up. Some aggressive buyers coming in. However, I don't see it on the chart, right? NVIDIA is still trying to be middle of its range. You can see NVIDIA right here. This is NVIDIA. Pushed up, pushed down. Now pretty much completely sideways right at the opening price. So sort of what happens with that will happen with the NQ as well. I just trying to stay out of this chop, see what happens, give ourselves a direction first, then make a decision on what we want to do. 76% long still tells me it's a little bit heavy long on the retail side. Delta is still kind of flat and even heavier than price, right? But if you start to see a pop in Delta, you'll probably see price start to scoot to the upside. Russell's holding above the opening range. S&P's right dead center still of the opening range. So And we're holding now above 41, but still not convinced here that this is ready to go, although it looks like it wants to now. We got some decent size at 42 filled. So 17 lot, 16 lot, 16 lot, probably a larger size, somewhere around the 60, 70 lots. That's probably one person hitting that bid there. So let's see what happens. The long was here if you were really getting in early, right prior to pre-market, right? Came down, made that overnight low, failed to make a new low, and then started to rally back up off of that low coming into the open, which is here. And then you got that break up. So I don't know if this is going to be a trusting long. NVIDIA's starting to sell. Delta's starting to push a little bit downside. Not as heavy as price, though. So also note that Delta hasn't quite broken down quite yet. There's the heaviness. Failed breakout of the opening range, possibly. Let's see what happens at that low. Very heavy, right? Straight down this 1 minute candle looking pretty heavy. There's the bottom of the range. 70% long still. If I can get down into here and get long through 26, that'd be nice. Maybe this is the long. Right dead center of that opening range. Still no decision made. That was slightly diverged on Delta, right? You see that huge big red candle to push to the downside, and that Delta didn't go anywhere. A little bit of aggressive buying steps in, and then price pops right back up. So the buyers are still sort of winning this battle here at the moment. NVIDIA is still not making a good directional decision, so I'm going to be pausing, waiting to see what happens with NVIDIA before I do anything with the NASDAQ. As I mentioned, up 102. That's just one overnight trade there that I took. It was a quick little grab. NVIDIA looking like it wants to go upside a little bit, but it's just kind of still within that wedge. Still didn't break out. I would like to see this price do something away from this zone. This is why I like that level right here. If you look at that NVIDIA, at that NQ, that 926 was that perfect bounce point here. You can see it right there, that turnaround, that flush through the morning, and then that rotation back through 26. So 26 should hold if you are long off of 26. If 26 doesn't hold now, then you will look to see some shorts. Well done. Good job, Jofi. Way to feel that. I would say that 26 right here, this 26 level. Here, 26.75 right there. That level right there was that important piece of information. To once this hard seller came in, you could probably look to say long off 26 with a stop below this 20, and then see how high you can take it. Perfect. Good job. I'm glad everybody's taking those. Like I said, I'm very picky, but these are good. You know, that heavy pullback down and then that immediate rotation back off of it. It just seemed like that was the right play to take that long off that 26 and then see how far you could kind of take it. You could trail it out smoothly from here. 9 o'clock, we do have new home sales. So it's not a heavy data information, but it is something that will move algos, a little bit. So just be careful. And then obviously EIA oil inventory for anybody who trades gold oil. That's important as well. So that 26 level there, just holding. Even if you want to call it, like if you want to use these previous levels here, it could be that 30 50s, 31 quarters. Right there could be the support level. So really longs off here all the way back to overnight highs. Depending on your risk tolerance, and your trailing rules, that could be a realistic target. I would like a retest of it now if I'm going to try and get into it. If not, I'm not going to just hammer in along here just to do it. You can see the time of sale starting to get more bids in here, right? Larger size orders getting filled up overhead, so bids are getting hit. 64, 65, 60. You can see these are 20 lots, 15, 10s, 13s. This right here is showing you that there's some bigger size getting filled, pushing us even higher. The next overhead resistance I have is 81 quarter, which happens to end up being the previous day high as well. So that's a confluence there that may run you into some resistance, but also is a good target for that first take profit there from 26 to 81.25. VWAP obviously will run you some resistance, but I think you can get a little whip right into this 81 quarter and then see what happens from that. So obviously I missed that entry there at 26. I was talking about it, didn't catch it. You now have NVIDIA trying to break high of the day, so if it does, give you that next little pop up through 81. There's the accumulation, the overnight low, this pattern here, this setup pre-market usually leads to a bit of buying, especially after that big sell-off from the overnight, sellers. Market participants during the New York, or whatever you call it, regular market hours open, don't usually like whatever the inventory is overnight. They'll try and clean it up a lot. And that's why my strategy kind of works with this setup. Hey, well done, Jofi. Good. Well done. I think that this could go. If it gets through 81 quarters, then you're going to start to see stuff like this. Just kind of straight upside kind of move. I pretty much usually say if I can get an open on or near that overnight low, you're going to get a rotation to the other end, especially in a bullish market. A lot of times the overnight high, that's a little bit different. There's your 81.25. See if it'll print at 81 quarters. 80 just tagged. If you front ran that 81 quarter, then you probably got filled if you wanted to take one off there. But I think you're safe to hold. Maybe use VWAP as your trail. I think it could rotate pretty much all the way up to overnight highs. I need to find a way to get into it. It could rotate off of 81 quarter and just rotate right back down. So if you did secure some of that profit, good. If not, do your thing, whatever you need to do according to your trailing rules. For me, let's say I had 2 contracts or multiple contracts on. I would have taken one off at VWAP or 81 quarters. You can see that wick came right into that right there. I would have taken one off there, and now I'll trail the rest of it pretty much as I go, right? I would have been even after this push up. So even after the push up, see what we could do on this push to VWAP. Take one off at VWAP, then let the last piece ride. Potentially, even if you're trailing, let's say you're trailing 3 contracts, if you take one off here, leave the full stop at break even and trail one, and then let one just completely run on you. That's a good strategy as well. 2 contracts, right? If you take one off, then you just kind of trail this according to structure. You could trail it either using VWAP, or you could use it candle to candle. You can start to see this fade out a little bit. See what Delta's doing. Delta's kind of giving you an indication of a little bit of slowdown here. Obviously, that's going to be the level. 81 quarters was my target for that rotation for the first leg of it. I expect some sort of pullback, some resistance here, especially because VWAP's there. Although S&P's has a little ways to go to get to VWAP, so that does add a little bit of, if the S&P's can push up into VWAP, then that could add the pressure and push the Nasdaq up and through VWAP since there's so much of a room here. Once S&Ps gets to VWAP, I would expect a resistance and pull back in the NQs. Nvidia is not breaking highs; it's just sitting at the high of the day. So there is that level. Watch this 81 quarters. See if it's going to break or if it's going to hold. That was to the tick. I mean, that's the high right there. What is it? 8150. So 8150 it got to. So the levels work. Just got to be mindful of them. Be ready to execute, right? I was talking about how heavy this was looking and the delta divergence kind of showing that there was not as many sellers coming in here and a little bit less aggressive buyers. I just didn't quite get in and enter this trade here at 26. That's really, I wanted to see it maybe get down below this opening range low, but that's good that it didn't. Pretty much showed the support was there. The buyers were there at that opening range low. Once you cracked, you could either like Leezy did got in at 40, or Jofi got in at 40, Leezy got in at 26, and then now you get that full rotation. So now that you've cracked 81 quarters and you're above this zone, I would say VWAP is safe potentially. I mean, it's up to you on your trail. Trying to maximize. Good job, Temple. Stop is 25 points in profit. Well done, sir. Well done. Yeah, you have, I know you have small size on, so you're good with that to trail. I'm talking if I were to have had this on personally, just where I would have my trails currently. Trying to give everybody a little bit of an idea of what I would have done if I would have had to do it. Well done, Evan. Good stuff. I'm glad you hit that long. Yeah, it's usually I trail a little bit tighter with a bit, with my if I'm sizing up a little bit. This was anticipated for me. Like I said, if we open on the overnight low, I want to find a way to get long. This is just straight up. I don't see why it wouldn't continue to go to clean up these overnight highs. 20,000 is right here. Obviously, is going to be a psychological resistance level. If you crack through 20,000, you might get a really good spike, but it could just run right into it. So see what happens through 20,000. Could squeeze you up. There's definitely buyers that want to be involved there. You see how it's squeezed up from there at 2 in the morning. We got 7 minutes till the top of the hour here. I have not executed. I did mention how this trade was, kind of sizing up, setting up the opening range here. Was dancing around quite a bit. This heavy sell-off here kind of let me think that we were going to give a little bit of a pop. I didn't get into it here. But we do have a couple people that did start to execute their longs around that 26 level that I was mentioning. 26 up through 40, which is that opening range high there, basically. So rotating back up to our previous day high here at 19,081 quarters. We just kind of pushed right through it as the NQ does. And as I mentioned, as the S&Ps wants to push towards VWAP, even though it didn't quite get all the way there, that's what helped push through the rest of VWAP. Once the S&Ps gets to VWAP, you're going to expect a little bit of a pullback off of VWAP on the S&Ps, which also pulls back the NQ. Not bad, Jofi. I'll take it. It's hard to trail, right? I mean, this could now act as support and run even further, Yeah. East Coast, we got the new home sales at 10. Central time, I rock Central time since I'm in Texas here. futures also runs in Chicago, so a lot of times if you hear people talking in times, Chicago time is Central time as well. So I just leave it all at Central. So 9 a.m. here, new home sales. So we'll just wait for that 5 minutes, see if we get some sort of algo push back down. If I get back down to 26, maybe I'll look for a long off of that. A sell off of 20,000 makes sense. Like I said, 20,000, very psychological level. I don't know if I can get a full pullback all the way down to 26 or even into the opening range, but I will look for longs down here. Hopefully the news can just kind of algo whip us down here, and then we start to run back up. So we got 4 minutes. 4 minutes till news. I want to see the dome. You watch to see my level. I have level 2 data on here, so I do see some more size on here and a little bit more in the bid and the ask. I would like a little bit more. I'm probably going to start paying for the top step data. I just don't want to pay for it twice because it's silly. So I just have it on Quant Tower. But once I start converting everything over to Top Step X, I'll do that. Just want to see if the spread gets a little bit whippy right before that 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock Eastern time. New home sales. Looking to see if you get a divergence here, right? Lower delta, lower price, pretty much acting the same. I want to see what happens with this number coming in. I want to pull back. That would be great. I do think this market is still strong, irrationally strong, but still strong. The pullback that we got overnight was kind of useful for longs to get involved. So for me, I want to see if I can get involved on the long side. I am a bear in the reality of things, but when it comes to trading and understanding the dynamics of supply and demand and sort of like where this contract needs to go, then I start to get a little bit bullish just based on pure price action, right? This kind of helped me here. This price action there looks for a long, hold that as support. Really should have took that long. Didn't. It is what it is. Mm-mm-mm-mm. 2 minutes till that number comes out. A minute and 30. Let's see what happens with this sort of rotation down. If you did catch that long, I'm glad that you were able to secure as much of that as possible. So honestly, you're not going to be able to catch this whole thing, right? Jofi, if you're in long from 40, it's not bad, or, you know, you're up 200 and some odd ticks, 60 points, right? It's not a bad idea to take some off if you're at regular size. If you're on smaller size, you're testing out some breathability on some of these trades, then, you know, you can see this level 2 now. We're within a minute. You can see how whippy it's starting to get. The spreads aren't crazy. Delta's getting heavy, which is interesting. So maybe we can get a nice little push to the downside, get us into this opening range, see if we can get yeah, I mean, but now look at this, right? So you secured as much as you could, right, with that. That's why I mentioned if you have multiple contracts, obviously smaller size, if you're just trying to kind of work the full position as far as you can, you know, just trailing it. But as far as like, oh, nice, good job. Just be careful. You got 10 seconds till this number. And very whippy, very spready. You see that? You're going to get shit fills right now. Big profits. Better than losses. So the sales came in negative 11.3, and they were anticipating 2.9. So that's very interesting. Maybe we'll get that pullback we want. Spreads are back a little bit to normal, but you're going to get some more price action. Now, let's see if we can get down through some of these volume area nodes. Might get some support here at 50. If it does, we do see that whip right there down to the bottom, so 50, 55. If we flush through the value area low, I would be cautious on the long, but I will watch for that long at 26 if I get it. And then obviously through this high here, that's point of control. It's hard to go long there, although it does look like it's building up a bit, right? I may try a long through the purple zone. Lots of volume has been executed around these 80s. Try to front run a break of 20,000 for a squeeze of 20,000. I'm going to try it. I'll try and buy through here. I'm going to buy through 50, through 90. If it goes through. I would prefer to get it down here, but I just want to see if this will act as support, start to rotate through previous day highs, and start to accept into new value. Like I said, 81 quarters, 82s is a good area for longs, but it's also a good area for resistance as well. If NVIDIA breaks above this high from the beginning, 127-ish, then we should squeeze this a little bit, I believe, to the highs. I'm going to give it a shot. Let's see what happens with this through 90. I want to front run 20, so if I can get through 20, I'll probably get to break even kind of quickly. That would be my anticipated breakout through that level. Using a stop at VWAP, which is a little deep actually for 3 contracts. So let's see what happens here. Front running that squeeze at 20,000. Already up 3. Probably want to take 1 contract off at the top here. If I could squeeze that. Front run 20,000. Trying my best to get it going. Doesn't want to go. I kind of wanted to go quicker there. Come on. Get up there. I'm going to even. Don't trust it quite yet. There we go. So let's see if we can get this off. All right, if we can get that 1 contract off at 20,000, we are past break even. So if I get stopped out for $100, there it is. I'll take $100 and move on for that. That just didn't want to go. So now just be careful of this to not go at all. Could have took a little bit more off of that, but I did not. I wanted to see if it would squeeze through 20,000. So we are up a little bit here, 183 on the day. This VWAP here on the S&Ps is what's bothering me with this long on the NQ. And NVIDIA broke through that high of the day and gave me a wicking top, right? You can see it over here. NVIDIA gave it that wick off top right there. Honestly, if I could do this every day, across 3 to 5 accounts, I'll be very happy. It's not hard to really start to push the pedal down with that kind of. There is the squeeze of 20,000, and I bitched myself out. Would have been a nice, good trade there, but I don't trust that level. Still good, still valid with the long from that 26. Obviously, that flush down here definitely shakes you out, as Jofi knows. Shakes you out, gets you down here, and then starts to rotate back higher. 20,000 is an area to be cautious around because it's either a squeeze spot or a good spot for sellers to start stepping in. 78% long on the tilt does concern me. You do have a divergence in your delta here, so you can see it right there. Delta is lower highs while price is making higher highs through a key 20,000 level. Could push up into 20,012, but you start to fail. If you start to fail this level here and delta starts to get a little heavy, that could indicate a good sell coming in. You start to get aggressive buyers to step in, then that's a different story. You start to push up. That's what we'll be looking for. I don't have the ability to keep this on the side right now, but with the 78% long as well, I do like fading that. I like fading the majority. It's hard for me to do at these levels, right? Because I'm a little bit away from what I want. But I'll keep this, steady growth in these combines until I'm able to catch one or two good ones. Which this would have been nice. I would have been fine with this if I left my stop where I had it right below that previous day high, but couldn't trust that there with that price action at 20,000. Okay, so now we're squeezing back up 2012. See if we get. So now you can see delta now, aggressive buyers stepped in, broke you through that level. So now you're going to start to see the buyers continuing to push us higher. Could get right to the top end of the overnight high. So let's see what happens with that. This level here, obviously I have that. I don't know where it's from. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know where I drew that up. Back here, not really. I mean, I guess it was a resistance level. Support, resistance. I'll leave it there for now. What happens with the S&Ps? What happens with NVIDIA? NVIDIA broke through the highs, now stepping up. Could come into resistance at 128.50, maybe 128.30s. That's an area of interest for NVIDIA to kind of run into a wall. I would like a break, retest, maybe even VWAP, flush that previous day high, and then look to rotate another long through where I took it before. So any sort of pullback I'll try and buy. Unless we start to really get some heaviness pouring in, right? A failure of 20,000 would lead me to believe that there would be some sellers to step in a little bit more aggressively. Okay, just waiting, being patient here. I don't want to, FOMO chase this. We are up 183 on the day, so can't be mad about that. Trades, you can see here we got, I don't know why. It's actually not showing the correct trade there. Let's see. Will it load? Yeah. So we got filled for $90 on that. 81% long right now on the tilt. Really makes me want to go short. I might try a cheap short with one lot below 20,000 at 81% tilt. Just to catch like a quick few points here. Just it fell off. It's at 75% now. Screw it. I'm gonna sell it. I'm selling it on the tilt, and I'm looking for a quick pullback to the previous day highs, and then I'm gonna try and trail it out. 75% long. 75, 74, 75, 80% longs. I don't like how long the retail was. Does not want to get heavy quick. Come on, get heavy. Trying a quick short. There's a nice little $100 push. See if we can get it to push one more little leg down. I'm only going to risk to 20,000. If it gets back over 20,000, then we're going to probably squeeze up anyway. So I don't want to risk more than that. I do want to get it below and into that purple zone. That would be my target there. Tilt still 75%. Delta getting heavy. It's going to pop now. It's going to pop 20,000. Yeah, we're going to get stopped on that. Maybe. No. Didn't get through 20,000. Interesting. There's a seller there. Let's see if it'll go. Accept this risk and just move on if it doesn't go. It's a very, very, very cheap trade, right? Purely taking it on the tilt and a little bit of the heaviness in the delta, and this is just not going. So longs, like I said, I was more inclined to go long. But there we go. S&P's is trying not to get through VWAP. So that's another reason that this wants to get a little bit heavier. But once it does get through VWAP, then this is going to squeeze up too. I want to see if NVIDIA will roll. There we go. We're flat. I tried it quick. I didn't want to go crazy with that one. Let's see. Just chilling now, waiting to see if we get another opportunity here. Still 70% tilty long side. Delta not doing a crazy bit here, so there's not like really aggressive buyers or sellers anywhere. Good job. Once again, seeing if we could push up through. Russell creeping up over highs. S&P's trying to reject that VWAP. Nvidia's rolling over. I'm going to give it one more shot at a failure of 20,000. Taking a chance at a short. Taking a second chance at it. If 20,000 holds, then we're not going to be very happy, but I feel a heaviness coming in based on the heavy tilt to the long side, the lack of push in the aggressive selling, aggressive buying, I should say. So if we, like I said, if we can get down to that previous day high, I'll start to look to trail this out a little bit better, I should say. Because that puts me in pretty much 1-to-1 right there, and then I'll start to see if I can get aggressive on the sell. I think if it does flush through the 20,000, we could get a bigger pullback. This is obviously a target here. Nvidia was trying to break down. It's kind of holding this little uptrend, but if it cracks, then we should give it a little bit of a flush. Nvidia would like to crack through this low here at 127, then we will get a breakdown in the NQ. Based on my long idea off the bottom, I'm kind of fighting myself here a little bit on these shorts, but like I said, I'm a perma bear kind of. Get heavy. The tilt kind of faded off a little bit. Delta's not quite heavy. I kind of just want to, buy the ticket, take the ride type deal, let the trade play out. It feels like it wants to squeeze again. Yeah, I'm going to try and get out of this if it's over 20,005. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You can see it's a nice little wedge pattern, like wants to break to the upside. If it can't hold 20,000, that's why I was expecting a little bit of aggressive selling to come in, especially with Nvidia trying to sell through 127, which it just did. So it didn't get super heavy through there. Probably going to look to cut this over this tick. I don't care. I'm going to try and just be even on the day and then start over. Just down a little bit. I don't trust this. I don't trust this. Okay. Back to basically even, down slightly. I do like the long idea. That's why I'm kind of just getting out of that. The long idea from 26 still kind of valid. I don't see another reason why it wouldn't. We do have a bullishness here. If that wants to break, then it could go straight up. Now that 20,000 fails, it's probably going to go heavy because I got out of the trade, but I'm not going to FOMO in. We're just going to leave it alone for a minute. Sorry about the error in the background, the blowing of the whatever landscaping going on. If you can hear it, So there's that nice little push, obviously, that I wanted to get right down to the bottom there. See if it'll crack and go. There we are. So I caught 2 paper cuts on it. If I just left it alone, it would have been just fine. But like I said, I didn't really trust it. It's away from my levels. It's not my A+ setup. I am trading combines here, trying to get these things done. So I am a little bit aggressive. Could just stick with my strategy here. That would have been a nice little long there. Would have been done for the day. But now we're looking to play catch up. I think we do get a break above. I think the longs are more likely today. So let's see if we can get a pullback into that VWAP area. Mm-hmm. 921. We're gonna get crude oil inventories at 9:30. So 9:30, if you are a crude trader, just be mindful of that. It will kind of give you slight movement in the end, NQ, but not really. Not really. $9.82. A pullback into here would be nice. There's the long through 20. S&P's finally holding over VWAP, so now you start to get that timing of the long, right? We were looking for a rejection at VWAP, but we didn't get it quite there yet. So that's why you got this hold, and then the push. You now have a good squeeze in the delta, so aggressive buyers are stepping up. This could wick this and rotate down and then come back and then rotate back up. NVIDIA is rotating. Play this as a quick scalp to the downside here on that liquidity grab to the upside. 70 something, 77% long on the tilt. The short through 12, short through 10.
Order filled.
If it doesn't go quick, then it's not going to go, and then we're going to be stopped. But NVIDIA is rolling over, so we should get a little bit of a roll, except it's not. So we're just kind of lingering right here. Really good at getting entries that are right at the point where there's a decision to be made. So if it's going to either flush or break, we're going to get it. There we are. So we're going to look to see if we can get this to rotate further. There we go. Come push down now. Get that first contract off. Come on, get that contract off. I front ran it a little bit. We got to the tick and did not get filled there. So, wow, that was great. I mean, I trailed it, so I'm still up 280 on this trade on these contracts. I think it still should be heavy, should be able to get that filled. But if it doesn't fill us, then so be it. I'm gonna take a little bit more on that trail. Fast moves, fast trails for me. I think that is one tick away from getting filled. That's crazy. We should get filled now. There we go. Heaviness is in. All right, so we've secured 222 on that. Now we're up 650 on the rest of it. Let's see if we can get this thing to roll a bit more. I will secure over this high here and see if we can continue to rotate us downside to VWAP. I have a $1,500 limit on the day, so if it does flush hard, then we'll probably just hit our profit target and be done. If it doesn't, then we'll still be in. That's probably our trade of the day there. I would like to see it just rotate down a little bit further. But that, you saw the manipulation. It's probably going to stop us out. Stop us out. Whoa, right there. All right. Up 739. Nice little short there. Took that quick red to green. So it's all about one trade at a time. Just understanding that what kind of market conditions we were in. I saw NVIDIA rolling over really heavy. So this started my indication here. I threw on a 3 lot there. Below 12 because of my 12 level I had here. I had the delta and this just kind of rising wedge here. So I say, hey, we're not breaking out of this channel quite yet. We had delta. We had all that. I'm sure this will start to roll down. I trailed out a little tighter than you would expect, but that was a nice little flush down. Would have been a nice $1,500 win and be done for the day. But I'll take 739. Not a terrible way to go on the day. So we took that pretty much the whole profit at the bottom end of this range, because who's to say that this is going to break down at this point? But with NVIDIA rolling the way it did, right? That NVIDIA trade breaking that trend line, clear as day. That was where it was going to break. We had to play the short on NQ because they've basically just been the same. So 81 quarters. Anything that I'm going to trade now is going to be very, very, very picky. We're going to look to try and secure that. Actually, I did get that 100K account, right? So where's that 100K? It's new. Nope, that's not it. This one? This is the 100K account. Daily loss limit on the 100K is 2,000. And the target is 6. No thanks. And the max contracts, I don't know what they are, but I'm going to take 5s. I love this as the short there. I love that manipulative top. Right around key levels of 20,012. Ran right up into 20. Shorted the 10 level, and then we rotated it down. Yes, I trailed out quick. Could have let that thing maybe take a second contract out, like we were talking about earlier, where I wanted to do maybe more of trail one contract tighter, right? We took one off, trail the second tighter. But if you're up, we're trying to secure profits, base hit, base hit, base hit. I'm taking small pieces of big moves, right? I want to see a long off that 26 or the overnight low. So let's see what happens down there. NVIDIA just absolutely melted off. If you are an equities trader, this is exactly what you want to see. That's the NQ. This is the S&Ps. This is the NVIDIA trade there. Look at that thing. Beautiful flush on NVIDIA. And can you tell me why that's the timing piece, right? Timing component is everything when it comes to trading. So we are very happy there with that nice short. We took that trade was 5, 6, 7, 85, $800 short, right? I could have took it to VWAP on the last piece, but I'll be happy with that. So we're going to go switch over to that 100K account. See what happens with this. If we get a pop or not. If you were looking for that short, so I got the timing wise, so I paper cutted myself, right? I paper cutted 2 small losers, a couple $100 on each of those. And then I took my actual winner, which wiped out all of those losers, right? Even though I was, let's say I was up to almost 300, gave back 300, and then took 800. So, right, that's how trading goes. You can't be shoulda, woulda, couldas. Timing wise, I was a little bit off on these shorts, just kind of based on what Nvidia was doing. Just wait. I should have waited for that crack and then took the short here, which is exactly what I did on that last one there. So overall, very happy with that trade there. Can't be mad at like I said, if we could do that across 3 accounts every day, right? Leader 739, follower 744, right? This is at 51,152. Maybe one more good trade, get myself close to that 1,500, so that no matter what I make on my next trade, next day, whatever, if I make $1,500, I pass these 2 accounts and we'd be happy about that. So now we've just recovered 1981.25, and I was looking for a long idea. If it can get up over that 90, I might try this 100K account. On the 100K account, looking to see if I can get a little bit more. I think the profit limit is $3,000 on that. Yeah. Stay within that 81 quarters. NQ is irrational, so it could still, after a big sell like that, could still rip and run right up into the overnight highs. S&P is still holding above that level, and Q is still holding above that level. Just because Nvidia sold off like that doesn't mean it won't bounce. It's just purely a technical selling. Overall, we're up 7 and change. 739.60 on that trade there. And now we're going to try this 100K account. Going to risk a little bit more on these trades. I actually don't like that entry. I don't like that entry at all. I'm going to wait on this 100K account, see what I can find. If I can get down deeper into this purple zone, look for a long off of 26. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to give it a horizontal. That's my long idea there. Short would be overnight highs. Right now we're in the middle, just around VWAP. Usually that's where I get myself in trouble, so I'm going to try and stay away from doing that. The blue line here is previous day high, right in line with. So I've been trying to code this out. It's my indicator that I'm developing for my own strategy, having it plot previous session highs, previous session lows, overnight highs, overnight lows. The overnight levels have gotten a little bit wonky. I still can't get the code correct enough to get me to overnight highs for the entire session. It stops at midnight. I may have to run a secondary code where this is the pre-midnight high and low and a midnight on high and low. Then I'll just have to kind of figure out a way to average them together and then create one level for the entire trading session. I've tried to program in cumulative delta in there. I have it hidden because it messes up the charts. So I have that level hidden. Once I can get all of that together, then potentially try and have it code out and set some of these plots. You can see some of the plots that it has now. Signal labels. I have it. It changes by time frame, right? So strategy tester. This is the strategy tester, what it looks like there on the bottom. Currently, it's doing pretty well. However, it is not correct on what we're looking to execute on, right? It's doing it at certain levels, which is great, but I need those levels to be better. And I'm trying to just kind of do my best with limited programming experience to tell it to do what to do. So that's my side project that I'm trying to help out with, and then I'm going to share that with you guys when it's all done, so you have that as well. So it'll give you an idea of when my strategy is, pretty much an A+. I want to program in the A+ strategies, so that's my goal, to get that to you guys for free and set it up as a trading view indicator for everybody to use, and then see where that goes. I think that's a really cool way to go. It's an easy strategy. It's very technical, pretty much level based, right? Overnight high, overnight low, previous day low, previous day high and low, overnight high and low, and then certain key levels that I like to program in. But those would be more discretionary than it would be like any sort of programmable level, right? So really, if I could get a way to get the correct cumulative delta, if I could get the Quant Tower cumulative delta code, set that into my trading view, and then use that divergence strategy where I say, okay, if delta is declining and price is increasing, then I'm going to go short through the level on a failed breakout. Just want to see if that'll test out. So looking to see if I can get that done. So we just got to the point where I would have got triggered in. I canceled that order because I didn't want to do it. I'm going to go back to the leader just to show our current P&L for the day. Looking pretty good. Not too shabby. Always live on TradeCaster.com. We're here for another hour. Great first day back in the trading streaming world. I'm glad everybody came back. I was afraid I was going to not get people to come back because I don't always I'm trying to be my best at trading consistently, streaming wise, right? So we're live on TradeCaster here on the story on Instagram, tradecaster.com, policing pips. Head over there. Show you every day how we can just take advantage of this NASDAQ, this S&P live. Tradecaster.com, baby. Get it? Be part of that conversation. Gonna post that on the Instagram, get some more people involved. I'll tag Jofi in there because Jofi's a good follower. Leezy, I think you're in there as well. Why not? Get it going. Leezy, what's yours? I think it's Wolf something. Island Wolf. There we go. I got you. You're tagged. Why not? Why not? Now I'm trying to just avoid trading. Always. Like I said, I appreciate everybody coming back. I took a small hiatus, and my streaming schedule, I want to do this full time, right? That's my goal. I want to be able to be on here every single day, whenever everybody, and provide value daily without having to make anybody pay for it. I just want to be here doing what we do, just talking through levels, talking through trading strategies, talking through whatever. Coffee, daytradingcoffeecode.com. Link is in the alerts. It's in the chat. It's pinned to the top of the YouTube. If you're in YouTube, click it. Check out the write-up. If you guys like that write-up, let me know. If you want more in it, if you like, other things, like maybe crude oil or gold, or, maybe you want me to do S&P levels. I know everybody in here that's communicating all the time is, trading NASDAQ a lot, MNQs and NQs. And, that's mainly what I trade. So I write it up as an NQ kind of review, but it's really a broad market idea of what's going on. And I think it's pretty accurate week to week. If I use it to my advantage, maybe I don't do a great job of it sometimes, because price action just gets me wanting to click buttons. And if I just stick to my strategy, stick to my levels, and do what I want to do, and understand price action, then I will be just fine. But sometimes I get away from it. But the write-up is pretty much clean-headed, just naked analysis of what the market has done the past week, and then rotates into the week ahead. And I'll post it in here again if you guys haven't seen it. It's in here right there. That's the weekly write-up. I post that every Sunday, even on vacation. I posted it this week. I'm starting to do it on the coffee website because it's a lot cleaner. I'm going to keep everything in one place. I can actually see if people access it or not. I can get interaction with the forums. So if you have any sort of interest in what I'm, doing, if you like it, you don't like it, if you want to add any comments, or if you want something, you could always do it in that box. There's a form in the write-up at the very bottom to just give me an idea of what you want to see, and I'll just keep doing it. I mean, it helps me, so I'm going to do it forever, or, as much as I can. But if you like it, I'm going to keep doing it. I'll keep sharing it. The wife's making me an espresso. Sorry, I'm ordering my day trading coffee company drinks. There we go. Sweet. Thank you, Leezy. This is just flat sideways action. Do I anticipate a little bit lower of a pullback? Probably here. Like if you went a little bit higher of a time frame, you are seeing a bit more of the, we were pushing upside, got a little capitulation, pulled down into that overnight low, tried to pop our head over 20,000 again, failed. That failure of a key psychological round number does kind of give me an idea that they possibly will rotate down lower, but it's not a high conviction short for me at the moment. I shorted the top here at 2010, and I really wanted to rotate it all the way down through. I stopped myself out right up there. It is what it is. I'll take it any day of the week. Really, I took a spot where I was going to take no heat on it, and if it started to rotate off of me, I was just going to cut it, how I did with some of these other ones that I took earlier. Right, I took a shot at it here, trying to fail it, and here, trying to fail it, and I said, I don't really trust it. I cut those two early, and then obviously you can see why I didn't trust it. You get the squeeze over 20,000. You got the manipulation. We had tilt super long also. So a lot of times when you start to see a super long tilt, it's showing the retail traders, which is us, but the majority of people are usually wrong, right? You're trying to fade the majority, so you're trying to get rid of that. So you start to see 75, 80% long here. That's people trying to go long with a break at the high. Obviously, that failed and rotated down, and that's where we're at right now. This here now starting to make higher lows. I said I was going to try and take on the 100K account, take a long, but I may save that account for another day. I'm going to just leave it and just work. Like I said, I'm only going to take maybe one more good trade, but it's got to be an A+. Being up 739 on the day, it's pretty much a shut it down number. I do have another hour and 15 minutes left in the stream, so if I do see a really good opportunity, I will execute on it. Trying to be better about it, executing my setups when they come, because I've missed out on a lot of really good setups over the past month or so. After a really good April, May and June have been kind of right? So we're just, like I said, the goal for June is to maximize my funding accounts, right? So if I could get myself, all 5 XFAs, that'd be great. I'm not really rushing. I traded my XFA here and there, and I've drawn it down a little bit just because I've forced it in on days where I wasn't fully set up, right? If I would have just waited for today, that XFA is up 739, and we're good or maybe less. It's probably up half because I'm not trading 3 contracts. I'm trading twos, ones and twos. So maybe up 5. Um, but yeah, that's the point of it, is just trying to maximize funding and stick to the plan. Stick to when you're on the computer, when you your full routine. If you feel like you're not in your routine, don't trade it. It's not worth it. 7:39. We got, like I said, an hour and 15 left in the stream. I'm looking to uh, stay on full stream every day that I'm able to stream. I'm gonna be on, right? I'm not gonna just cheap out on you guys. I'll be here. Like I said, every day that I possibly can be, I will be. There is going to be some times in July we have some training. What's up, AK? Miss you, buddy. I saw you stopped in yesterday when I wasn't around. You broke into my house when it was closed, and you came in. At least you said what's up. Well done today, Jofi. I appreciate it coming by. I'm glad you caught that long off that. I know, same, man. I haven't been around this last week because I had some family in town and we were enjoying the oldest birthday. Yeah, AK is the best of the best, right? Absolutely the top, just every day consistent in here doing his thing and making money like a boss, like a boss. You can do it too. That's great. That's why I love Tradecaster, because we got everybody in here just absolutely crushing it, and it's all just fun and games and just trading and enjoying life, man. That's really what it's all about here. It's not a lot of that scammy, salesy bullshit. It's just trading. I mean, obviously, some people pay for this platform, some people don't. The people who don't get the full advantage of everything, but at least you get me. But nobody's out here trying to scam you, sell you a bunch of bullshit. It's all just trading and teaching you the right ways and doing things day in and day out and being consistent, right? You don't have to go very far. Obviously, Dex started the whole thing, and he's the most consistent out there, right? He's out there every day, streaming, he's trading, he's doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And yeah, it might look boring, but not the way he does it. Obviously, he makes it exciting. AK too, he's out there every day, every morning, pre-market, short and crap, and making money. Maybe I'm doing the dance. Not here, baby. Not here. Let's get it. That's why I love it. I mean, like I said, I'm out here looking to create a good community and enjoy the company of conversation, while sometimes trading, you get in your own head with other people around. You're able to kind of keep it kind of cool. Like I said, if I could do this every single day across a couple accounts, I'll be your best bud forever. Oh yeah, food and coffee, baby. I love that ribs. I gotta come up there. Where is that? Where in Arkansas is that? The mean pig. I'm trying to see it. It's crooked. It's sideways. I'm gonna go sideways on it. I remember you shared the video on your stream the other day. You worked there in high school. That's sick. That's good stuff. I saw the video of when he was on that. That was awesome. Whatever happened to the man versus food guy? I guess food probably won. Food win. He's still around. Is he still doing food stuff? He's probably got a YouTube channel, I would assume. I mean, you can only do that so much without. I mean, the McDonald's guy died of cancer, so who's to say that didn't cause it? Super Size Me guy. Yeah, I was like, oh god. They kind of just gave you like a quick headline on it, and then it just disappeared into the sunset. So I'm sure McDonald's just like, psh, 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 we don't need. Oh goddamn! My one monitor just disappeared. What happened there? Give me a second. Did I disappear? Am I still here? That was weird. Let me know if you can still hear me. Yes, they are. Test, 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 test. Yeah, we're good. All right, we're good. Weird power surge that didn't shut off my whole computer, just shut off one of my monitors. So I think the monitor is a little messed up. The secondary monitor where I have my Tradecaster on. So you guys disappeared for a second, but we're back. This is that midday summertime price action with no news. So, like I said, I think that long from the morning, if you were in from 2675, that area right there, that white line, the rotation up out of the opening range breakout, I said up to 81 quarters was probably your best target. I hate when this view app gets all messed up. Your best target was 81 quarters. Obviously, a full rotation to overnight highs is kind of expected. So, with the rest of the day ahead of you, potentially could grind up into that 20,040 up into the overnight highs. That's if NVIDIA kind of turns around. Right now, NVIDIA is very flat down at the lows, right? If you see NVIDIA down here at the lows, kind of creating that. That's why we took our short. We shorted off of basically NVIDIA short. Now you can leave it open. Thank you. You can see the NVIDIA short here from the break of the trend line down. Helped our short here. But now this is kind of giving you like one of those flat base breakout downside patterns. We do have down to 123, maybe even 123.92 down into there. Could drag this down, but we'll see. Oh, I don't know what I do with that. We will see. Oh yeah, here you can take that. More coffee. I just trade coffee drink for coffee drink for coffee drink. Cheers. Got the new cups. I hope you guys like these. It's a glass here with the bowl on it. And this is our espresso, but I do a Spronic. It's a espresso over Pellegrino. So it's a bubbly summer drink for you. Cheers. Yeah, so like I said, the grind to the upside could happen, but I think it's going to be if NVIDIA gives you any sort of bounce, then you'll start to get a little bit more of that grind up. You are going to get lower volume on the summer trading months. You are going to get just people making money in the morning and going and enjoying the summer. So, you get that volume break push. We got this breakdown on NVIDIA, which helped our short idea, was what we capitalized on there. And then just from there, we kind of lingered around, right? I'll show you my executions. They do populate on here. Let's show charts and data, execution, save. So this is our execution. I hate that it does this, but since I'm copying over two accounts, it shows it more than once. So this is where we had our ideas. I took a quick scalp long there. We made like $100, right? This is where we were up. This is just too confusing with these double numbers. I don't like it. But we did short this right there. 2010 down to 1995. And then we kind of took all of them out there. I need to get rid of this. These executions just muddy up the waters. That's why I take them off. There we go. I gotta head over to that. I gotta head up to Arkansas, period. I haven't ever been. And I'll have to come visit the AK man. I was up closer to Dallas this past weekend with the family. The only thing there is AK, and that's the most important thing. To go hang out and eat food and leave. Or we could just meet somewhere else. That's cool too. This is sideways, choppy crap. So for me, for this account, if I am going to take any trades, I'm going to take it on a different account on the 100K that I just got. So we are going to lock this one out. I don't want to take any trades on it. Well, yeah, no. This is just going to get locked out. So manual lockout. By doing this, I can no longer take any trades on this account or the follower account. So I locked it out. That's what the beauty of Top Step X. It's one of the things that kind of secures your profit and it prevents that FOMO trade or that idea of I'm going to give anything back. Or if you're down a little bit, go ahead and lock yourself out and say, all right, I'm down enough for the day. I don't want to lose my account. I'm going to go ahead and lock myself out here. And I can't even undo it. You can't undo it. It's done. It is what it is. We are just not going to trade anymore. So 2025. I'll take a look. I will take a look. 2025. Ooh, is that the new one? You just get it? Is that the one you ordered the last month or whatever when we were in New York? She's beautiful. That's awesome, dude. I'm not a Jeep person, but I love it. I like the way this one looks. This is the newest one. It looks mean. This is you customize this one, so it's looks that's great. Hell yeah, hell yeah, dude. That thing gets up and go. Really, you didn't customize that? I like that. You just picked the color, right? Hey, it's amazing that they're. I mean, like I said, I did the same thing with the Challenger. I bought it because it was the last call. Maybe it's not a full on 392. It's a 342. But did you get rid of her other one, or you still got the other one? Got mad Jeeps. Guys got mad Jeeps. Oh man, it's a good trade. I think it's a good trade. You got the last call edition, the final edition, keeping the Thanos. Hell yeah, you can't go wrong with the purple. I think that's just like an underrated. The royalty. It's the color of royalty. AK with his purple royalty. That's what that's all about. If you can do that, that's what it's all about. I got the Durango. I don't understand why my packages. I think the post office is just scamming me, sending me stuff. That's awesome. I've never seen it take place for real. I've always just seen ducks all over. So when I was in New York, I didn't notice the duck thing. I never saw it. But when we go, oh, look at that little purple one, a little tiny Jeep. That's awesome. I never saw it in New York, but I saw it now that I'm in Texas. I see it all the time. I've never seen anybody do the duck, but they're in there. Yeah, that's a sick color. I like it. I like it a lot. Give me 30 seconds. I'll be on in 1 minute. Gotta pee. That'd be cool. Just get some ducks. Find. I gotta find a bunch of ducks. Give you one of these. I'll put a giant one on the new one. So Nvidia just broke down on lows, pushing down into that 123s like I talked about. Looking like it wants to go lower, but like I said, it could just catch resistance here at 123.90-ish. But I mean, support here. I think it does happen down into 122.30s is that next lower if it wants to break down into yesterday's breakout point. Hell yeah. It's the goodbye hello. You always got to take the goodbye hello picture with the out with the old and with the new. Money. There goes Nvidia. 123.04. You sweep that, you go down to 122.30s, and then that would get a long. Yeah, I think that would be a long idea as well. I think we could even honestly, if Nvidia keeps going down to 122.30s, I don't think it gets much deeper than that. It could, but that could get us into this 126 again. I don't know if we get all the way down and through, but you could go long through that 40s again. If you get onto that white line there, that 126.75, sweep it and pump it up. It'll hold its value too. I do like that front bumper. Does that wench work? It's like a sick. Sweet, dude. I think I'm not gonna lie to you. Did you ever think you were gonna spend 100 grand on a Jeep, though? Like I know how sick. It's a sick car, right? Like I love that, and it's just the way car pricing is now. But when you were first getting in the Jeep game, you're like, all right, man, 100K for a Jeep. That sounds reasonable. Back when we were kids, we were younger. We're like, man, 100 grand on a car. You're getting a Ferrari. I'm gonna get a nice car, right? At 100 grand. I'm not saying it's not a nice car, but the amount of inflation that we've seen. This is just the most ridiculous. I don't think car prices are ever going to be reasonable ever again. That's one, but nothing really will be. It's kind of we've gotten to some wild, crazy time of inflation, right? Yeah, right. Like you think like, man, 100K, cool. I have 100K in cars. I have two Dodges, but it's not like I have like anything like I have $100,000 worth of Dodge cars, and they're not Hellcats. Crazy, crazy times. They're gonna say, "Oh, inflation is coming down." It's not coming down. It's just stagnating. It's slowing. That's my perma bear in the realities of actual like financial analysis. It's like the markets are super unreasonable. I was thinking that yesterday about, I have two nice Dodges, not top of the line, but they do their thing. And I'm like, man, I got a house, an old, back in the day that's twice the amount of that my parents paid on their first house. Crazy to think of. And like I mentioned, if I'm in the 1 minute, you can see how choppy this is. I'm back to trading for a second. This is not conducive to a lot of just like big, powerful moves that I like to get involved in. I like to be done. I don't like to be trading this slow, choppy bullshit. So wait for it to get to a level before you decide to make a move. Under sticker. Hell yeah. Jesus. 110,000. That's wild. It's not like it's fully loaded, but still, that's unbelievable. As far as just, you gotta just look. Nobody has to look very far. Like I just saw DC Drano or whoever posted it on their Instagram. He's like, my gas bill is looking more like my grocery bill. My grocery bill is looking more like my Costco bill, and my Costco bill is looking more like my mortgage payment. And it's like, it's just how it is, and it's gone up so hard so fast that people have just become accustomed to doing it. Like I moved from New York to Texas, and I was used to super high prices, right? Like New York is absurd, Long Island's wild, right? So the wildly overinflated New York pricing, you move out of state, you're like, all right, great, I'm gonna get back into lower cost of living. I did, but as soon as I come down here, it's just the inflation hits so hard that it's almost like living where I was, how I was there, right, with the same pricing. When I first moved here, the gas was like $1 and change a gallon, and now it's up, $3 and change, whatever it is, in Texas. This is where the gas is the cheapest most of the time, right? So it's crazy to think of how cyclical it is, but also how crazy overinflated everything is going right now. And that's what makes the market so odd. And obviously the market is also inflated as well, right? So if you're thinking of it in that terms, if we're talking fully loaded Jeeps or if we're talking NASDAQ, everything is super inflated and overinflated. And, it's just not in an area where it's a reasonable price, but also it does make sense because everything costs more. It's the 100 best performing stocks, right? They are tech heavy weighted. So tech is obviously the heaviest, most thought of stuff right now. It's the most expensive, most profitable businesses, right? So you got Nvidia, you got Microsoft, you got Apple, you got Amazon, Meta. You think all these names, you're thinking big profits, big money. They're constantly looking to do more and more and more. So obviously it's rigged to go up. Yes, in theory, right? But also in the same time, when it comes to these economic data and they're pricing in rate cuts. And so, in the beginning of the year, they were pricing in 6 or something rate cuts. And then once they decided to cut back on that, price started to pull back, but then it just started rallying on news of no rate cuts. So there was no logic behind any of it. And so the market, like I say, remains irrational longer than you can remain solvent. So just do your best to limit your downside and do everything day to day. And, macro environment stuff helps when it works. And if you just kind of just chill and just let it do its thing and just trade it as it is instead of what it should be, then it is what it is. That's how you do your best, right? I'm at my best when I'm not thinking of all these things. It helps. It helps that grand scheme. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be, you absolutely do that every day. Absolutely. And if you want to trade with what AK trades, I do have a deal for you with Lightspeed. Lightspeed and I have partnered up with Day Trading Coffee Company, and we have created a awesome deal for everybody. So now that AK is in here, I can go ahead and pop this up and just mention to you guys that if you use this code and this link here, they'll let you start an account with 5K if you use code coffee, and you get all these savings at the top of the line, broker out there. They do a really, really good job of providing you good value, good locates for shorts for all those crap stocks. When I was trading with T3 on the prop, this is what I used. I loved it. It was very responsive. You got to get used to the hotkeys and stuff, but when you're ready, to do it, it's money, right? So if you use code coffee, normally they require 10K. We got them down to 5K for an initial deposit, and then all of these great features plus more. Click the link, head over there, just check it out. My goal, like I said, with the coffee company is trying to eventually build up the sales to a point where I could start to give money back to the trading community. And by showing Lightspeed that I can send people their way, I'm going to continue this partnership, and I want to give cash accounts as that sort of give back, right? So Lightspeed's the brokerage that we're trying to work with, trying to give you guys the opportunity to make money with Lightspeed, with us. And the more coffee I sell, the more accounts I can give away. Slowly but surely, as we grow, that's what I want to do. And eventually, we have a lot of big plans for the day trading coffee companies, including physical locations and stuff like that. So that'll be a cool thing for us, because like I said, the more we can sell, the better we can do, the more we can give back to the trading community, maybe even start our own little education program within the actual physical locations, and just have meetups and stuff like that, which would be pretty cool. That's what I'm aiming for with that. But head over to the link, Lightspeed. I will post it in the YouTube chat as well. Click that link, check it out. Just show Lightspeed that we are worthy of your interest. Now back to regularly scheduled programming here. We are sweeping that low. I would like to take the long through this 40 level like Leezy was talking about. But you are getting a breakdown of that low here in the S&Ps, which does drag us down a bit. Yesterday's low could be interesting at 55.11 3/4. That 100K account, I locked out of these accounts, so we are going to trade this 100K combine, see if we can make some on it. But I want to wait and see if this will give us a flush, give us a divergence in delta. We could do this. I'll try a long on that. Trying a long off the 26 level on this is that 100K combine. I'm watching the delta though. If the delta starts to flush, I'm going to just bang out of this quick. Ooh, I like that. There's that push up. Nice pop in delta, popping above that opening range high. There we go. There's a nice little squeeze piece. There we go. Nice little pop, up about $800 on 3. I'll take one off at 50. I actually want to take one off. Yeah. Take one off there at 49. Front run the 50 level. Front run that 50 level. Let's see if we can get one contract off there. 40 was interesting, so I do want to kind of trail this there. So we've secured 300 on that. So I can only make 3,000 on this 100K account here. So I'm going to take one contract off, front running it at 50. I did trail below into the bottom of this purple zone. That is the initial opening range level. So if it does come back and test it, I'll be out. But I'll take that on that first. Making that money, baby. This is where I anticipated that flush of that 26 and then the hold. If we could rotate above, let's take one off there. If it gets it, fill it up. There we go. We filled one. So now we are just going to let this one ride. Let's see where it ends up. I would like to take another one off at VWAP. And then see if we can get this to continue on upside. It might not make it there, but that would be nice to get up into that area there as a full rotation. 20,000. If it breaks 20,000, you probably rotate all the way up from here. Let's see. We take one off front running here. That would be a nice little squoze. Pressure free is the way to be, right? I assume we're going to get stopped on that, but do I take it to even? I like to trail candle to candle. I'm not a huge big move person. I love them. I would take a big move all day, every day. Like, this is beautiful. I don't think you can go wrong with this, right? But at the same time, I'm okay with it coming back and stopping me out and taking $500 off the table, right? I don't like to give back a lot of profit on some of these short moves. I'm not here to be swing trading. I'm here to be in and out, scalp, get my money, and go. So this was just 3 contracts, right? We took one off at the level we're at, 50, 49 we took it. We're going to try and take one off, just front running VWAP, and then see if we can take the rest of it out. I can only make up to 3K. God, I love Dick. I love when he's just honest about making the money that he can make, and that's it, right? If that's what it is, right? You just take what you can get and don't give it back. That's your best way to go about things, right? I am going to go to the bottom of this candle here because I feel like we're going to start to run into some resistance right around there. I think if we could get over 63, you do get to VWAP, but it might have trouble getting to 63. So we can get over this 55 level and hold. Should get to the top end of this candle. 63 should squeeze us up to VWAP. Will we get stopped out beforehand? Maybe. Maybe not. But like Leezy was talking about, wanted to get the sweep of 40 and rotate back. I really wanted to sweep at 26 is what we got. And then we pushed it upside, right? So very good. Good long off there. It's not about how much. It's not about if we're going to make money. It's about how much we're going to make. And I stole that line from Clay Trader because I used to watch his videos back in the day. And there we go. Get over 50, 63, right over that level right there. I wanted to take one off, but I think we could squeeze up into VWAP if we get up over there. So I'll take that. I'll take that money and run. If it wants to get to VWAP, I'll take that as well. Like I said, I'm going to try and take one off there. I'm going to be a little bit loose on this because I think squeezing over this ignition breakdown candle does squeeze out a lot of shorts. And it should run us into VWAP. And that's really my first and usually my ultimate target from a failed rotation of the overnight levels or my lows or highs. Really what I do is mean reversion back to VWAP is my big play. Price loves to come back to that level, and that's really what I like to get it to at least come back to. So I like to have my target be there, try and get it filled up, and then I'll trail out this last little piece for as much as I can, right? So there's that pop. It's not quite there, not quite there, not quite there. I would have liked to have filled that there. But if it doesn't fill, it doesn't fill. It's okay. If this fails, it should hold this 64. So technically I probably should have been right on there as my level based on the way all this structure was for my take profit, right? Or whatever, just taking that one off. If I miss it, I miss it by a point or two. Now I'm gonna just leave it there and let it do its thing. If it pulls back all the way down, I'm gonna take $1,100, $1,500, whatever we made on this trade, and be very happy. If it comes back and shoots us out and we can take that profit off, then we'll be happy as well. There's really nothing to be upset about on this. This was the perfect trade. Executing to the plan, waiting for that level to come in, waiting for NVIDIA to come all the way down to the level that I was speaking of, right? If you look at NVIDIA coming down into that dotted line, not quite there, but 123 was the level it needed to sweep. There it goes, swept it. Now it's starting to rotate back higher. If it doesn't continue up and if it fails here, then NVIDIA, then the NQ likely continues downside as well. But we caught the bounce that we wanted to catch based on that move there. 81.25 is that overhead target for this move. It was the target the first time. It's the target the second time. Beyond that, 20,000 obviously is the line in the sand as well, right? So if it wants to bounce, I'll take that one off there as like the liquidity grab. If it's going to sweep the VWAP and then come right back down, at least I have one off. So now that we're accepting back into that candle, that this ignition one here, there's a chance it sweeps all the way down through 54 before continuing upside. I'll probably get stopped out here. It'll probably continue to run, but I'm going to take that money and run if it's going to, do that. Because it could come into here and then just continue to flush all the way down, right? So I'm okay with where I'm at with my trail, right? Because I do want to see if I can get that one off overhead at VWAP, right? Because that's the target. Trying to stick to the plan, trying to be patient, trying to let the thing play out, and just let it go. This big sell. I have one full. I'm trading currently. We only have 2 left. I traded this contract with 3 full minis. Yeah, 1 tick away from getting filled there. Didn't get filled. Didn't get filled. Didn't get filled. Looking to get filled here. Come on, there we go. All right, so we got that second contract off. Now we're looking for a runner. On this combine, we can only make $3,000. So technically, the top end of that is what we are looking to catch. So Coast TT trades. I'm going to use that. We're trading the full NASDAQ contracts. I did a 3 lot down here long. Obviously, you can see my entry. I took 1 contract off here at 49. Took the second contract off here at VWAP. 81.25 is my technical area of interest. I need to only do 3. I actually need to set this as settings. Targets 3005. Liquidate and block save. So with the combines, I just bought this 100K because I got that code. This is the 100K combine. In the other account, we traded and we were up 739. And this trade currently, we are up right here. Realized 1,300. Unrealized is 800, sitting in profit. I'm going to give back to the bottom end of this wick and see if we can run it up any higher. As I mentioned, 81.25 is my overhead resistance. I do think that that's probably the end of the line for it. Especially with NVIDIA curling down. I'll probably get stopped on the rest of it down here if it wants to rotate down. You can see how that wick, got us right into 81.25. But let's see if Costa trades. So contracts, when it comes to the full NQ, it's $5 per tick per contract, if that's your question too, with contract sizing. And then if you're trading micros are 1/10 of a full mini, so 50 cents. Well done there, Leezy. I love it. I love it. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be streaming live for everybody, showing the first day back as a banger. It's a really good. Listen, don't rush the payouts, but when you do get to the point where you can take a payout, do it, because you never know when you're just gonna hit that drawdown phase. Like I said, all of April I did really well. I was able to take my withdrawal. May I decided to burn my funded account, and then now all of June, I Top Step I would say is the ultimate. There we go. So we're up $1,906.60 on the day. Let's go. That's how you take that trade there. I think 81 quarter, like I said, was the spot where it's going to probably run into a lot of resistance. Could have took off that last contract there or trailed up tight to it, but I wanted to see if I could let that last runner run. If I got stopped there and that's it. That's fine. I can't be mad at that. Could have left that stop all the way down at even and then kind of decided on when I wanted to cut it. There's many ways to trail out that runner. You could have just, like I said, I could have just left it at even and then just gave all that back, and with the risk of trying to take it all the way to the high side. But like I said, this level was the long. I will never be mad at taking a trade like that. If I could take a trade like that every single day, I'll be very, very happy. So I'm glad the AK man was in here, kind of inspired my profits for the day. Overall, across these accounts, 1,900 on the 100K for the first trade of the day. The first trade, that was good. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, Top Step, as far as I'm concerned, is the best as far as the funding companies. They were the first. I've had experience with Apex. I've had experience with Top Step. I've been funded with all of them. Take Profit. I've been funded with some of those CFD firms back in the day when I was doing Forex. That's why I'm policing pips and not ticks. I started in the Forex world. Then I went to futures. Then I went to trading prop with an equities firm. I do like the equities firm way, but I don't have the capital that I would really like to kind of throw in there for that. So I don't, T triple Qs is going to be a triple weighted ETF, right? So T triple Qs, if you are trading it on the equities world, I'm pretty sure it's the triple weighted. Yeah. So if you're expecting that's the inverse, right? If you're over here, T triple Qs is here. It could be. Let's do our research. I'm pretty sure it's the triple weighted, but let's see. T triple Qs versus QQQ. Yeah, T triple Qs is the triple leveraged. Yeah. It's not inversed. The inverse is, what's the inverse QQQ is SQQQ, maybe. You're right. Yep. SQQQ is the triple weighted. So if we go back here, SQQQ is triple weighted and short. So it's inversed. But if we go here, if you wanted to do QQQ is the regular US, if you want to call it the US 100, it's the NASDAQ. So Coast. Are you trading like in America or outside of the country? Because if you're trading CFDs, the NAS 100 or the US 500 or any of those things, you're outside. So yeah, I would say outside you're cool with trading CFDs because of your location and stuff. Inside the US, they're banning a lot of the Forex companies and those funding companies and stuff like that. And MetaTraders there's a lot of like issues going on with some of the funding companies. Outside the US, it's still good, still fair. Yeah. FTMO, all those things. I was funded with them as well, but I mean, I'm not into that anymore, just based on the way that they're leveraging down in the U.S. The U.S. is regulating it a lot, and they're not able to get what they want out of it. But yeah, if you wanted to trade something that was similar, just regular QQQ, he's going to give you that. TQQQ is triple leveraged. However, so it's a little bit more volatile, but it's a cheaper price point. It's going to track it very similarly, right? You can see this chart here on the 1 minute. This is the T triple Qs. And if you look at my chart, this is the NASDAQ. It's very, very similar as far as the price points are concerned. You're not going to get the same exact price action, but it's very, very close. The levels are going to be slightly different, obviously, because the numbers are different, right? T triple Qs is going to show you $73.92, while NASDAQ is in the 19,000s and whatnot. So it's up to you to, what you're actually trading. I don't know if Top Step, what countries they support. There are some countries that aren't able to be supported, but if you're trading FTMO, trading some of those other names, the gist is the same. You just got to find the levels that are a little bit different as far as the numbers are concerned and whatnot. I like equities. I like the ability to trade all the things. It was just like DEC, just like AK and all those guys. But yeah, if you are interested in Top Step, I would look into it. If you're an FTMO person, then that's cool too. If you're looking at equities and you're trading the U.S. stock market, like you said, TQQQ, you can do it. It is triple leveraged. You could do QQQ. You could do SPYs. Ooh. The SQQQ is the inverse. Pro short QQQ, right? So it's funny because if you want it to be short, it's very illiquid, I would call it. It's very weird. It's choppy. Let's see. What's Soxel doing? There's the semiconductor. Still short. NVIDIA still short. Looking to get down into 122.30 probably. That is what's dragging us down here over on the NQ. So seems like the NQ is trading pretty much as the NVIDIA futures. Couple bangers here. As I mentioned, that 81.25, probably the top. I forgot that I had a microphone. I was chewing this ice. I apologize. About 30 more minutes left in the stream. I appreciate everybody stopping in, coming by on the first day back from the vacation. A really great day of executing according to our plan and not forcing things. Yeah, I got you. I really just want to kind of keep sticking to this plan of just waiting for our levels, understanding where price wants to go, what's driving it, all these other things, and good timing, right? We talked about this long early. I did not catch that. I would have loved to. I just didn't want it to be here. I wanted it to be a little lower. Didn't quite get out of that opening range quick, and just kind of sat in there. So that's kind of what built up this level. That 26.75 level is a longer term important support level that I had drawn up for a while. So, I know a couple people took it off that 26. Somebody took it off the 40. So those were good longs up to that 81.25 and beyond if you trailed it. Stupid VWAP. So you took it up into here. That long was excellent. I was looking for the short. I took it once, twice. Didn't trust the price action around 20,000. Cut those early, which went from up about 3 to being even. Just taking the paper cuts because I understood how price action was working. It wasn't the right timing. I want my trades to go quick. I want my trades to go in my direction without taking much heat. That's why I use stop orders instead of limit orders. I mean, if I was trading equities again, trading for props and trading on the professional, brokerages and platforms, if I was going to get rebates for providing liquidity to the market, then I would use a lot of limit orders and sitting on the book and stuff like that, being sort of a market making type aspect. And that's when I would use limit orders more because I would like to limit in into these trades, right? But when it comes to futures, I'm not providing liquidity. I'm not being sitting on the book. I'm not getting rebates. So if I'm not getting rebates, I'd rather have price be moving in my direction. I'll take a little bit of slippage. NQ doesn't slip that much if there's not news. So, the spread is tight. It's, a quarter of a point, it's a one tick. Usually it's never too much. If you wanted to really hit it, you could just join on the ask or join on the bid and you'd be fine. But that's why I use stop orders, because I really want price to move in my direction, do it quickly, and be good with that. So we took that short down into here, took one off, and then took the rest off here. Could have trailed it a little bit better, but we didn't. I'm okay with taking an $800 trade, right? We locked ourselves out. We took 739.60 across two accounts. So, that's what we're looking to do, is maximize our funding in this month of June. I'm looking to show you that you can pass these combines with good, consistent trades, sticking to your plan, locking yourself out when you're up, locking yourself out when you're down small instead of max lossing, right? This is the bar that you don't really want to fill up. Oh, it's actually too big right now. I don't know why it's too big. Let me see something. Why is it so big? I don't know what happened there. There we go. That's better. I don't know what happened there. It got a little bit weird. Okay, so that's our P&L here. We don't want to fill up this daily loss limit bar. That's what you don't want to get all the way to that $1,000. These accounts, as much as they'll say it's a $50,000 account, $100,000 account, they're not really that, right? Your drawdown is what your drawdown is. It's only $2,000, right? So you're trying to leverage not losing half of your account in one day, right? So set your daily loss limit. You could set the lockout for 50% of that at least, and give yourself 4 straight losing days, but try your best to not do that, right? If you're down a certain dollar amount, set that dollar amount. You can also, if you have Top Step X, you could set it so it just locks you out once you hit it. So you don't have to hit off on the full daily loss limit where you're breaking your rules. You hit off on a 50% or, a third or whatever. You could trade small. You don't have to trade big, right? Just let it be something that you're able to do consistently, because obviously we can make 1,900 on one trade. We can do that with 3 contracts. You could lose, we were only risking about 500 on that ish. I had it down here. If it would have just melted off, yeah, sure, we would have lost about 8, but I was probably going to cut it down here below 20 for 500, right? So, these are things that you have to think about what you're trying to do as far as sizing is concerned, but I'm showing you live. These are combines. I'm trying my best I have one funded now. The goal here is that one funded. I'm going to try and have all 5 of these done either by the end of the month or early next month. I'm not going to rush them the rest of this week. We're going to do Thursday and Friday. We're back here tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. to see if we could do it again, right? And do it again and do it again and do it again. And if you have questions about what we're doing, just let me know and we'll just keep going. Can't be mad at a day where you make 1,900 on one account and about 800 on 2 others, right? And then once you copy trade that across all 3, right? Day to day, you don't need to make that much day to day if you're copying them. 200 to 300 across 5 daily keeps the day job away. Give me 2 minutes, and then we'll run the last 20 minutes of the stream. 15th. These are Friday. Sure, I'll do that. I am going to try and start looking at crude. I'm going to try and start looking at gold as well. So crude, I've started to draw. I have levels drawn. We do have some key points here. I got to delete these. But I am going to start analyzing crude. I do like the oil trades. I like the way it moves. I'm just not, too adept on the price action, so I gotta just watch it, do some tests and stuff like that. So that's my idea for adding some trade ideas. So crude and then gold as well. I know Temple was trading gold. He said over the last few days I've been doing pretty well. So he's had some pretty good success, and I'm looking to do it as well. Just adding some of these other asset classes into my playbook, because I think the strategy works well, and I think it'll work well across assets. Ooh, Elon's live. Let's see what Elon has to say. Thanks, Deck. What's Elon going to say? Is it going to be anything about Tesla? Elon Musk is live. Let's see what Daddy has to say. The future president of the world, Elon Musk, talking. Or the ruler of Mars, maybe. Talking about Cybertrucks. The 100K account is good. Adds a little extra drawdown. I believe it's a $4,000 drawdown. $3,000. Adds another 3. Adds another 1,000 to the loss limit. I'm going to go ahead and lock this account out as well. So now we're locked out of all these accounts. I have no FOMO. Can't come in later. Can't come in power hour. Can't come in and decide to just start hammering in trades. I think executing right here, if we're going to review the day now, we have 15 minutes left in the day. I'm just going to review kind of what I was talking about, what I saw today, and then what we can do moving forward, looking into tomorrow and all that stuff, right? So currently watching Tesla just because of Elon talking and Deck talk, sharing it out. Where is this meeting? Tesla unveils a masterpiece. The Tesla that will change the car industry forever is what it is. This is what I'm watching over here with Deck's little recommendation. So that's off to the side, but let's review quickly over what we were doing here as far as trades are concerned, and then if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, let me know before we head off here at 11, right? Just reviewing how my strategy works is what I look for is fades of overnight highs, overnight lows, previous day's highs, and previous day lows. As you can see, previous day lows way down here. Previous day high is this green line right here. It's labeled right there. For my strategy, what I've noticed of late or over the last few months is if I get a continued selling overnight, if this overnight high becomes the high and then immediately sells down and sells down all the way to overnight lows and creates overnight lows just prior to market open, I tend to find a rebalancing occurring after that fact, right? I usually get the sell-off comes into here and then we start to get a bounce right on the open. If you open on the overnight low, usually you'll get some sort of bounce, at least a VWAP, sometimes back to overnight highs. Is there a chance that we still get to overnight highs today? Absolutely there is. It really has to do with what NVIDIA is going to be doing as well. So that is sort of part of the game. But we did open up here in this purple box. The purple box is the opening range here. So this white line is a longer term support level that I had drawn up on my other charts here. If I show you that chart right there, this chart right here gives you this yellow dotted lines are my longer term support and resistance levels, or just levels of interest that I've had, right? And you can see that they work. The overnight level, bang, right to it. I've had this drawn up for a while. It's not like I just drew it up right when that happened. It came right to it, bounced from it. Over here to the tick, bounced off of that. Over here, 926 has been the level that we've been playing with today, right? So 926 is the level we've been playing with. So we come over here. We have opening range right at 926. I did not catch it, but I know Leezy caught it. I know Jofi caught it. Around this zone here that took the long off of 26 and off of 40 and rotated up to 81 and a quarter, which I mentioned was the next overhead resistance area. So they were able to trail out and catch some of that move right up into there. I don't know if they caught through. I'm not in their trading platform, but that's the idea, right? Trading and fading from overnight low and targeting that VWAP and the next level that I'm interested in, right? So, we kind of moved through the day. I had this trade here where I wanted to try and start to short because I saw failures over the 20,000 level, and the 20,000 level here acted as really strong resistance. Once we broke above it, I expected to fail it. I took 2 paper cuts on it. I took one quick long here that I failed to mention that I took, but that was like a quick $100, and we were up about 200 at this point, and then I took, it was about 200, and then I took 2 losers here, which brought us back to even, down a slight bit, because I was anticipating this 20,000 level to be a failure. Once I noticed that this wasn't breaking down, I was cutting those losers quick, taking quick paper cuts, lost 150, 120, whatever it was at these levels. And then I watched this breakout, right? We saw the failed breakout tilt. I watched this tilt when it usually gets up in that 75, 80%. I want to try and short that level because it's saying that most retail and most shorter term time frame traders are getting long, and a lot of time the majority is wrong, right? So we saw this failure here, and then we looked over at NVIDIA right here. When we got to the point where we were about to short, we started to break down. That was at 924. So 924 comes in on this chart, right? This is 924 right there. I shorted the 2010 level. So 2010 was my level to short because I had a level at 20,012, which I thought was important, right? So I just shorted right through the bottom of this candle. And you can see once we got that NVIDIA sell-off there, sell-off in NQ, followed up really nicely. We trailed out. We got one contract off here. I wanted to trail this off a little bit better, but I trailed the rest of it out, and it ended up getting stopped out right at the bottom there. So overall, good trade. Could have managed it a little bit looser with the second and third contracts, but it's all right. We took off that much. Then we took nothing. I said, I don't see anything really. I think this is grindy, choppy. Stay out of this area. Stay out of right around VWAP. This is going to get you in trouble. There's not a lot of volume here. Maybe the breakdown of this could be interesting, but I was mentioning that because of the breakdown of NVIDIA. that we could end up lingering down into this range. We started talking about Jeeps, we started talking about houses, we started talking about everything else, keeping ourselves out of trading in the middle of this crap. And I said if we do get down, Lizzie mentioned it too, if we get down and sweep 40, that we could get a nice long back through it. I also agreed. I think I said if I wanted to get to that 26.75 level, if we got to this level, I was looking to go long from here and try and rotate it back up to 81 and beyond. And as you can see, no heat on it. Took our first contract off at 49, took our second contract off at VWAP, and then got wicked out right here for the remainder of that for the 1960, right? So that was a nice little trade. Could have held that last contract at break even and rotated it up, but we didn't. It's all good. I'll take it. Yeah, I think so too. So now that we've kind of talked about all the rest of the trade, looking forward for the rest of the day, I think possibly this secondary touch of here gives it a long opportunity. If you look at the NQ on the longer term, these are my 30-minute charts. We swept 26 once, twice, three times. I think now that we've broken above 81, if you can break the high of the day at 25, I think you do rotate up into 68s. And I think that overnight high does get tagged just because there's not a ton of resistance up over that 31. If you do get up to that 31, I don't know if I would short 30 just because I don't trust it quite yet. A lot of this overnight inventory likes to get cleaned up. So if we sweep these lows and you grab all that liquidity, my long idea here was if we don't close this gap, then we long straight up and through. And holy shit, Elon's yelling.
Truly a special day, and I am immensely happy that you are all here to share it with us. We are presenting to the world a new product, Tesla Cybertruck 2.0. This is a revolution in the automotive world, and I'm sure that each of you will be thrilled by the possibilities we are offering. But that's not all.
Yeah.
In honor of this momentous occasion, we have decided to hold an incredible crypto giveaway right here on stage. Yes, you heard right. Today you can double your crypto assets very easily.
I don't know if that's true. They're doubling crypto.
On the screen of this YouTube broadcast, you see a QR code. Scan it right now to go to our official website. There, you need to make a deposit in cryptocurrency. It can be Bitcoin or Ethereum. And what happens next? Let me explain. After you make a deposit, you will receive back on your wallet twice as much cryptocurrency. So if
That seems like a weird scam that just popped up for no reason.
in a few minutes, your balance will return already with 0.2 Bitcoin.
That's hilarious.
This is an amazing opportunity.
That just magically popped into, maybe somebody took over his stream or something. I don't believe that. Getting back into our trading. So there's that push up over 21. I'd say up into this purple gray box here, you're going to start to see some chop. But then I think overnight highs could get tagged. You do need to see price action confirm you, Lizzie. Yeah, absolutely. There's no way that that's an immediate short off that 30 level, although I can see why you would expect that to be the spot for the short. You just got to get some sort of setup, something that's going to tell you that it's going.
Users to double their assets. This is a unique opportunity that should not be missed.
Look at how strong that delta is.
QR code right now
Straight. You took it short from 30.
and double your wealth together with Tesla. Don't forget
Nice.
support is available 24/7. If you have any questions or
If you were looking for like an immediate rejection, failure,
and ready to
29 front ran it.
so friends,
That's nice. That's a top tick right there.
make deposits and enjoy how your crypto assets double.
You got filled at 29. That
Gift to you in honor of
price
Cybertruck 2.0 launch.
got to 28.
Thank you all for being here and forward to new heights with Tesla. Scan the QR code again. This chance to double your assets is waiting for you. Thank
That'll take it. Take the money and run, man.
Of course, friends, I want to tell you a little more about how I came to this idea.
28 possibly.
Another such idea, a unique crypto giveaway that allows you to double your wealth. The website you will go to by scanning the QR code is absolutely safe and does not require registration or verification. This means that you do not need to waste time filling out forms and confirming data. All you need to do is scan the QR code, go to the website, and make a deposit in Bitcoin or Ethereum.
It's not easy to do if you wanted to stream and stuff. Yeah, that's why sometimes I get a little sidetracked. I think everybody does this at times. You're trying to like get the data, trying to understand what you're doing, type your entries, do your shit. Right? It's a little tough. I think sometimes it helps. It hurts some of my thoughts, but a lot of what I'm planning out is already planned out. I'm not really just like hammering into entries and exits and stuff like that. So yes, day trading is speed and precision, and if you're gonna do a lot of some of that stuff, you want that to be pretty exact. But for me, with the Nasdaq, I find it to be relative with zones and obviously we saw a sweep of a low and a sweep of a high. We're seeing that price action is being manipulated and then failing, being manipulated and then failing to the other side. So I'm able to set my orders and kind of be a little bit more comfortable and then come back to talk. Yeah, I don't know how people do chat alerts. It used to be the thing, absolutely.
The QR code is right on the screen. Scan it, make deposits, and double your funds. It is absolutely safe, quick, and easy. You have nothing to lose, only to gain. Thank you for being with us. Forward to new achievements with Tesla. Don't forget, friends, that our crypto giveaway is your chance to increase your crypto assets.
I've
The QR code is on the screen. Scan it and start right now. We have done everything to make the process as convenient and safe for you as possible. Enjoy doubling your crypto assets and keep believing in our community progress. Of course, friends, let's continue and once again highlight all the advantages that await you. This moment can become a key point in your financial future.
The Elon Musk thing is funny. All right. All good for the day. I can't be mad at that. Like I said, overall, I think we did a really good job of managing our risk, understanding that we're going to take a couple paper cuts to try and catch some slightly bigger moves across the couple accounts. We were up 1,900 on this 100K that we just got today. We're going to be up about 800 across 250Ks. So, we're progressing towards getting our max funding and doing what we can do for the month of June. As I mentioned, that's what I said early on this month is we were trying to maximize funding across as many accounts as possible in June. And if it takes into July, so be it. I'm not rushing it this time around. Really trying to develop the funding, get myself to a point where I can just take base hits every single day across a couple accounts and take my withdrawals and start to really build on this opportunity that Top Step has provided us with the copy trader and Top Step X and being able to lock myself out at certain loss limits. All that stuff is really helpful for things that I find to be the biggest issues for me when it comes to FOMO and maybe trying to revenge trade here and there. That's the kind of thing that I'm looking to inbox. Coast, where are you from? What country we hanging out from? Oh, okay. No, don't mind me. I don't mind. I don't know anybody. The only people I know are the Tradecaster people that I met when we went to New York and a couple, we met up and had the solid meet up in the city. We met up with AK, met with Mo, got Riggs, Bolivia, sweet. How did you find Tradecaster? Was it YouTube? How did you go about finding Tradecaster? YouTube, sweet, pretty cool. It's cool to see the amount of people that are from all over. That's what's nice about trading, and also now with the global economy and everything like that. It's pretty cool to see. We got Dubai, the UK, we got all across the US, just in this room alone, let alone in YouTube and all over. So it's nice having the opportunity to trade, be wherever you are, do whatever you want to do as far as that's concerned, and be able to grow, learn from people from all over. And I think that's really cool. And it's a great part about trading, especially in this kind of community when you're in Tradecaster as opposed to just YouTube, right? YouTube's full of people. A lot of it is people trying to sell you stuff, people trying to do a lot of things. You're maybe not trusting what they're talking about. And when you come into here, at least you know that there's everybody in here is trading. And yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's good to see, like I said earlier with AK, everybody in here is looking to support each other. You could jump from my room to AK's room to Deck's room to Mo's room, go over to Yeah Buddy, all these rooms, and be able to learn a little bit from each person and create your own strategy and have multiple asset classes that it's covered. You can go from here, from futures, you can go over to Riggs' room, and he's also in future, but he's going to tell you everything about, crypto as well. And then if you go to Deck, you're going to get all the small cap stuff and AK as well. And it's really a good community. Aside from the mentors, just like everybody that comes in here is serious about trading, right? They're not looking at the Lambos, and I mean, it's cool. I would love to have a Lambo, great, but it's not about that. Yeah, it's real trading. It's day to day. I come in here, my family comes in, my kids come in. It's just real. Yeah, absolutely, real people, real traders, real mentors, people who you could just ask questions to and not feel embarrassed to ask a simple question or really get into the weeds of certain little price action things, or trying to simplify your strategy down is really the key, I think, to this game. When I first started, everybody's always like, fibs this and, Ichimoku clouds and whatever, all these things. You add all these things and your charts get so messy. And then once you learn to kind of peel it back and start to create your own strategy, and the only way you can create your own strategy is to go across a few different people and learn what you like from that person and what you don't like from that person, and, what fits your trading, your personality, right? Because everybody's personality and everybody's risk tolerance is different, and everybody's financial situation is different, right? You can't watch AK or let's say Deck or somebody like that trading with bigger size. Deck doesn't trade with huge size, but he's making good consistent money over and over and over again, right? You're able to kind of just feel that certain things you can do, certain things you can't do, and just understand what your limitations are and the realities of what you can and can't do, right? And so for me, what I want to do, welcome to trying to find a real mentor. I think your best bet is finding a group of people like Tradecaster who could kind of give you little dynamic pieces that are pieces to a bigger puzzle, right? I learned from pretty good people. It's not really a thing anymore, but it's called Top Trader. I don't think they're doing much education anymore. They started in the Forex world, but they worked for big institutions, and they taught me a lot of understanding fundamental analysis and incorporating it into price action and understanding. They're more swing trading stuff, but I took it and adapted the swing trading stuff, mean reversion stuff, and adapted it to my intraday style of trading. So this is kind of just what I love to do. If you need to find a mentor, I think you found the right places. If it's not me, if it's not one person specifically, I think if you just bounce from room to room and you kind of just get a feel of what everybody's doing, really what it comes down to, Coast, is if you manage your risk and execute consistently a specific style, then it's going to work out. And then you just got to limit your expectations. Don't go too crazy. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, so Coast, I think really you're in a good place, trying to just develop yourself. Like I said, go into my room, understand what I do. What I do is I try to leverage these funding companies, maximize my funding, and then I'm going to try and just pull it slowly out as I grow the accounts. And then that's, one way to do it. If you're going to do it in a different way, where you're funding your own account and you're going into the equities world and you're going to do that, go over to Deck's room, go over to AK's room, and see the ability to find repeatable patterns in the market, understand certain fundamentals about these companies that are going to drive them in either direction, and then just play the levels with good risk management, and you'll be just fine. It's really just what I've learned and kind of came to conclusion of. It took until really recently is it is you versus you. As much as you find a good mentor, I told my buddy Ray, he's on here. He traded with me live once in person. I think next month he's going to come over for a week or a couple days at least, and we're going to trade live, and I'm going to do stuff in person to kind of help him with daily routine stuff. It's all about you versus you. You can find the best mentor in the world, but if you can't conquer your own demons and your own way of trading and all that, your own risk management, you're not going to be able to do it longer term because you're just going to fight yourself because you're going to have losing days. I'm going to tell you, I'll lose a lot. All right. And it's just getting the courage and the ability to kind of come back again tomorrow and execute according to the plan and just limit those down days to a point where the up days just take over those down days. And then if you can get used to that, then you'd be just fine. So on that note, I'm going to cut the stream here. I stream every day, 8:30 a.m. Central to 11 Central time. Whatever time that is in your local time, just note it. I will be on the rest of the week. Thursday and Friday we'll be on. We'll note that we do have some economic numbers. Tomorrow, pre-market durable goods. Friday, pre-market core PCE, personal income, and personal spending. So there will be movement pre-market, so be aware of that if you are trading before I get on stream. Just note it, and then also note those levels for when we come on stream later on. Leezy, everybody, Coast, I appreciate you communicating. Joe, if you left earlier, anybody else who doesn't comment, I know you're here. I see you. I appreciate you. If you ever have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. You could always go over to daytradingcoffeeco.com. While you're grabbing yourself some coffee, go to the education tab. Check out the write-up for the week. I posted the link in here, so you can check that out. That'll give you a kind of a broad idea of what I'm looking at for the week, what's kind of driving markets, and all that stuff. So click over there. You could always use Policing Pips for 15% off your order if you do decide to order. Also, don't be afraid to check out the Lightspeed link that I shared as well, because this is going to get you a good offer for equities. You'll be able to trade with a very low balance and really great benefits. Equity commissions per share. You're trading options, 30 cents per option contract, can't beat it. And then locates are top of the line. So you'll always be able to locate your shorts if you need to. And if there's no shares to locate, then there's probably no shares to locate anywhere. So my opinion, I like it as one of the best equities platforms, at least for executions. Maybe charting, you might need to, work with some other programs, but I do like pretty much everything about this platform here. So like I said, check them out, click the links, give yourself a chance, and I will see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central. I appreciate you. Great first day back. We did a really good job of managing our risk and executing according to plan, and we'll come back tomorrow and do it again. Until then, peace out. Talk to you later.